These and more stories as usual lined up in this edition of News Hour, but first let's take our corner preventive message.
You see where them people here wear them mask them fine? Well, now so you say for wear the mask. Cover your nose and you mouth all time where you dey near other person.
Continue to mask up, stay safe and get yourself vaccinated. COVID-19 is still around. Now the Chinese military medical expert group that has been supporting the government for a year in the fight against COVID-19 and other related issues has bid farewell to President's bill at state launch. The Chinese medical team has been working in different areas with 3 units providing medical services for citizens. Hawa Mosie now reports.
Chinese Ambassador to Sierra Leone Hun Zhanglang noted that China and Sierra Leone relationship has come a long way in terms of supporting each other. He told President Bill that 3 medical teams were sent to Sierra Leone by his government to work in several areas, including the military medical experts, medical doctors, and the Center for Disease Control.
During the term of service, the 3 Chinese medical teams have shown a great sense of professionalism and dedication. They have been fighting against COVID-19 together with their Sierra Leonean brothers and sisters around the clock. Up to date, they have tested around 80,000 samples. Approximately 1/3 of the total tests in Sierra Leone. They have participated in the treatment of 450 COVID-19 patients. During the course, they have received valuable support, care, concern, and cooperation from Your Excellency, your government, and the people, to which they express their profound gratitude.
President Julius Malema expressed thanks and appreciation to the President of the People's Republic of China for their assistance and collaboration. He said that China has always been there for Sierra Leone, providing various supports that are strengthening their relationship.
When the world is gripped with COVID and many more people are looking inwardly, China chose to look outwardly, and we, Sierra Leone, has benefited from this relationship. I want to register the country's profound gratitude and sincere gratitude to the leadership of the People's Republic of China, to His Excellency President Xi Jinping, and to all of you, and to wish you well as you go back to your various destinations.
Bidding farewell, head of Chinese military medical expert Chen Wingweng thanked President Bill for providing the strong leadership in the fight against the coronavirus pandemic and putting strategies in place to protect citizens. She said that they had good working relationship with their colleagues during their stay. SABC TV News are in Freetown. How Moswe reporting.
So Parliament has approved the Appropriation Bill 2022. The bill seeks to authorize expenditure from the Consolidated Fund for the service of Sierra Leone for the year 2022 and for other related matters. The House also ratified the 148.5 megawatts Freetown Generation Project, a project that seeks to alleviate the challenge relating to and electricity supply in the capital and its environs. Our parliamentary correspondent, Joseph Toure, has more.
Members, the question is that the appropriation of 2022 being an act to authorize expenditure from the Consolidated Fund for the services of Sierra Leone for the year 2022 and for other related matters. Having gone through the committee of the whole House, be read the 3rd time and passed into law. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it.
The approval of the Appropriation Bill 2022 was the climax following the scrutinizing of various MBS budgets at the Committee of Supply in the past weeks. Lawmakers were concerned about issues surrounding timely disbursement of funds to MDAs, accountability, and a possible look into salary harmonization, among other things.
It is high time we look into, the salaries and the compensation of our workforce. When you look, you know that, people are paid not based on merit, but based on how you are, connected. Somebody that is in grade 5 do receive more money than somebody that is in grade 11. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, honorable members, this is very serious.
We want this Central Intelligence Unit to be very effective, sir, Mr. Chairman. There are so many drugs entering Sierra Leone that are destroying the children of this country. And that is part of them to do both internal and external monitoring to capture people who are destroying the entire population of Sierra Leone. There are so many crazy youths going all over that because of the entry of these drugs.
Re-establishment of the mobile regional offices, review and popularization of NGOs policy regulation, sensitization and coordination of ECOWAS and River Union activities, administrative and operational costs, field staff and overseas travel. The reason why I see this particular allocation as a financial injustice, Mr. Chairman, you are aware about the National Medium-Term Plan. I think the National Medium-Term Plan is one of the best documents this country has benefited from under the new direction government.
On the 148.5 megawatts Freetown generation project, Minister of Energy Alhaji Kanja Sise was confident that such agreement will change the dynamics in the country's electricity supply.
I can assure you and members of your team that we are going to rigorously monitor the implementation of this project to make sure that what is there, what is contained in this agreement, what we're putting in front of you today is assured. It's going to be, we're going to make sure that we can only move forward in improving the supply and quality of electricity.
This saw a bipartisan support in the House to ratify the agreement following the submission of the minister. However, Parliament deferred debate on the joint venture agreement between the Sierra Leone State Lottery and Accord Logistics for the establishment of a gaming and betting industry due to some controversies around it, not limited to ownership and revenue generation. SLBC, Joseph Toure reporting.
The Republic of Sierra Leone Armed Forces is charged with the responsibility of providing security to the state. Such huge task requires frequent professional engagement. In this regard, the Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Sule Sise, has therefore encouraged officers and men to uphold high level of professionalism, especially in the year 2022. Mohamed Kuruma has the details.
This ceremonious display was done in a bid to instill discipline in military officers and men. The armed forces contribute immensely to the peace and security of the country, so it is essential for military officers to be engaged regularly. While making his end-of-year address to troops within the Western area, Chief of Defense Staff Lieutenant General Sule Sise spoke on a range of issues including discipline in the force, terms and conditions of service, social media rumors, peace support operations and infrastructural development, among others.
The military, of course, we have different chains. As the Ministry of Defense, of course, we're there to generate policies for the ISLAF. And of course, we have down the line, we have the operational level, down to tactical level, of course, and we expect commanders at various levels. We have battalion commanders, brigade commanders. That responsibility has been charged on them to ensure that they monitor some of these policies, from the Ministry of Defense.
The CDS emphasized that military officers and men must devoid from politics and promote nationalism. He also addressed the issues of fraternization. SLBC, Mohamed Kouma reporting.
You're pleasantly welcome to News Hour Tonight on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation. I am Victor Jones here with you. Controversial rapper Alhaji Amadou Ba, alias LJ, has been remanded in prison for contempt of court and is expected to spend Christmas behind bars as the matter is scheduled to resume on the 28th of December 2021. The chief executive officer of the so-called Red Flag movement is also being tried in the same court, Magistrate Court Number 1, for assault and other offences. Aminash Brahma has the report.
That was LJ in a red t-shirt and trousers standing in the accused dock. It could be recalled that on Monday 6th December 2021, the Magistrate Court Number 1 issued a bench warrant for the arrest of LJ for failing to make himself available in court on allegations for assaulting police, among other charges. Despite the warrant, LJ did not make himself available in court, and based on that, the Sierra Leone police declared him wanted and he was arrested by the police during the night hours of Thursday 16th December 2021 at Leicester Peak in Freetown. He appeared in court from police custody on the bench warrant that was issued against him by the court on 6th December 2021. According to Magistrate Sakekura, the act of LAJ was a total disrespect to the court, which he said his court would not tolerate. The magistrate said despite firm warning to LAJ during the last time he was granted bail, the rapper went and did the worst by abusing a journalist who was merely doing her work. Magistrate Sakekura added that journalists were professionals and they must be respected and protected. As a superstar, you should behave like one and put on the best behavior you could, as there were children and other people who look up to you as their role model. Despite plea made by LAJ's lawyer Madiu Sise, Magistrate Sakekura refused bail on the grounds that he breached the bail conditions, which amounted to contempt of court. Following the bench warrant news heard on Radio Democracy that was issued by the court, LAJ went live on Facebook Saturday 11th December 2021 and verbally abused veteran female journalist and station manager of Radio Democracy Asma James, claiming that the report was biased against him. However, according to LAJ's lawyer Madiu Sise, that matter has been settled amicably. SLBC News, Aminash Nyandebana.
Now, people traveling to the provinces for the Christmas holiday have expressed serious concern over unavailability of transportation. SLBC's Esther Sako went to the Shell bus terminal in the east of Freetown.
During festivity, we all know it's a norm for people to travel to the provinces to spend time with their family members. I'm here at Shell to find out whether or not this service is available for the people to travel to the provinces to visit their family members. Join me as we find out.
As of now, we are stranded here. We've come with the motive that the transportation is normal. I mean, the fear is normal, but there's an increment and there is lack of transportation all over. As you see, I have my elder sister. We are stranded as of now. Transportation is very expensive. We are charged to go to Kenya 70,000 leons, and the normal price have always been 48,000. But unfortunately, we have still the constraints here. For me, as per see, the constraint is too much.
It is evident from the crowd that there is scarcity of vehicles to travel to the provinces. Most of these travelers have been here since 6:30 and could hardly get access to government buses. The few vehicles available are privately owned and the transport fare is high.
As a big government, we are medical buses for price and police.
All we need is for the government to provide more buses. There is rush for transportation during festivities, and the ones available are not enough.
Because if you not bus, they will not go stop for long.
As we have heard from these passengers that want to travel to the provinces, there is not enough vehicles for them to go. They are calling on government to come on board and create more vehicles for them to travel to the provinces. SLBC News, Esther Sako reporting.
Now, passengers seeking the service of government buses are also finding it difficult, as Evelyn finds out at the government bus station, Wallace Johnson Street.
Festive seasons normally are blissful moments, as most people residing in Freetown go back to their hometown to spend the Christmas holiday with their loved ones. However, as more people are enthusiastic about the holiday season, the trouble for access to transportation to travel freely has become a nightmare for many, as people are stranded at the government bus station. People were already there at 2 a.m. on Wednesday, and some travelers had even slept at the station overnight, whilst others were still waiting to purchase their tickets for their different locations. According to some of the travelers, transportation has inevitably been a serious problem over the years for the Sierra Leone Road Transportation Authority and the government to tackle. The situation is quite appalling, as the ticket agents are not helping the situation.
I am traveling to Sebema. I have been here since 3 a.m. and I know that tickets are sold at 70,000 leones, but now it's been sold in secret for 120,000 leones, which is unfair. I am urgently going to see my 9 months pregnant wife. Just look at her things here.
I am going to Kenya, and we have been here since 10 p.m. yesterday. And up to now, I am unable to get one. And they are saying that there are no tickets. And considering my age, I cannot stand for long. I am appealing to the government to provide more buses and put proper structural measures in place.
All efforts proved futile, as countless attempts were made by the SLBC to get the side of the bus station's administration to respond to the several allegations levied against them. Meanwhile, citizens continue to appeal to the government to provide more buses and put proper measures in place, especially during the holiday seasons. SLBC News R, Evelyn Cole reporting.
The unavailability of public transportation is also affecting movement within the western area. This is more so in times like now, the festive season, when getting into public transport seems a battleground for especially people in the eastern part. Fatima Kamal has been to Frabe Road and other parts of the city.
Because of money, police them when you see them, so and let people are the tongue, they won't sell.
Malta Street and Frabe are of the hot spots where passengers bound for Waterloo get their transportation. Most of the vehicles plying that route are mini and few buses. These passengers say they have always suffered because of the selfish actions of the drivers and their apprentices, who deliberately demand excess fare more than that approved by the Ministry of Transportation and Aviation, and sometimes refuse to convey passengers to their destinations. Musa Bangura said the police were to blame for the actions of the driver and their assistants.
People they suffer.
People are suffering. Savage Square is the turning point of these drivers, but it is not the actual point. Bombay is their actual turning point. Traffic police are there, but are not doing their jobs properly, and they collect monies from these drivers as a way of negotiation to stop halfway.
They put some of the bubble at the point where they get a for them. Any rich vehicle of the driver them, now 20,000.
Yusuf Bakak said they now pay 5,000 yuan to go at low, and they are forced to pay before boarding the bus.
As you see, look at the 5,000 you are will so if this 5,000 you don't give, they allow you to enter inside.
As you can see, I'm holding my 5,000 leons. If you did not give them the money, they will not let you enter the vehicle. I think the drivers' union president should put things in place to address this issue.
The president of the driver association, the driver union, I think that they for put things in place.
After various fingers pointed at police officers, DTO covering Kleintown and Savage Square, Richard Commander had this to say.
Mechanism in place to stop this halfway. As I'm speaking to you now, I have 4 drivers that will be arrested for these halfways. You know, so these drivers normally, when things are going bad, they want to do odd things. They use that as a defense to break down the law. We are against that.
DTO Richard Commander had promised to apprehend drivers who will be caught in the act of leaving passengers halfway and taking excess transportation fare. It will be a relief for passengers if drivers are more honest for the interest of both parties. For SLBC News, Fatima Kamara reports.
Christmas comes with a lot of hustling and bustling, but for this year, there is a marked expectation of less economic activities. Goods, though, seem to be in reasonable supply. Customers are flooding the market, but purchase is slow due to surging prices. Kadiatu Kagbo finds out.
A regular scene, especially during festive seasons in Freetown. Retail traders train off their wares to attract potential buyers. Some traders are trying to offload old items to accommodate new ones for the Christmas. A time like this, traders are expected to make more sales, but this year seems different.
Sales are slow. We display our businesses daily, but no sales. We are pleading with those in charge to reduce custom fee. Businesses that we used to buy at 60,000 leones are now more than twice the price. If taxes are reduced, then we will be able to make profits. The holiday is already here, yet I haven't bought anything for my kids.
Mami Amasori is not the only one complaining. The traders say the fluctuation of prices is due to the exchange rate. It is making it difficult for traders to sell and make profit, hence the slow rate of sales of different products.
This year is really difficult. We are hoping for a better 2022. Prices of goods increase every day, and when our customers come to buy goods, they complain.
At the end of the year, some people normally buy new clothes to go to church, beach parties, and even weddings. Musu Ture says this year they cajole customers for hours before convincing them to buy something because the price of goods are relatively high. It is highly apparent that until some of these issues are addressed, customers will continue to experience the same problems of rising prices for different commodities. SLBC News, Kadiatu Kagbo reporting.
So, as we are observing events and situations leading to Christmas in Freetown, we are also interested in knowing what people in other parts of the country are doing to celebrate the festivities in their various ways. We continue our engagements with our correspondents around the country. Today, we turn our attention to Dauda Kamara in Kono and Abdul Karim Kanu in Magburuka. Sonia Jafar spoke to them earlier, starting with Dauda Kamara, who is in Kono.
Yeah, in some of these cases, peaceful. People are moving up and down to see what they can do for the Christmas, the Boxing Day, and also the New Year. And in the area of the Benson market, which is the key market for UCG, is highly populated now. People moving from the provinces to bed food for the Christmas. And what we're experiencing now in the UCG is process of fear. Now, people are starting holding the fear. We can stop there from the gas station for 12,000 and for super security for 2,000 to give the federal government working that people are moving and things are okay.
Okay, so also I'd like to know, usually people will be traveling from that part of the country to go elsewhere, probably in Freetown, or probably they'll be even staying there. So what is it like? Are people actually visiting more in Kono, or they're actually leaving? Yeah. Okay, so from our source, we realized that bus station in Freetown, the transport fare has increased from 70,000 leons to 100,000 leons. So we'd like to know what's the situation in Kono. Is it the same?
The government people, the price is the same.
Okay.
65,000. But for the commercial, there's a little bit difficult to know as a result of the holiday and the other fair is not waiting for only fuel stations and access to the stations. So there's a big share of other things to the government to price this time.
Okay. Okay, so what about that of food? Because as you know, usually during the festive season, the food commodity, the price actually tends to increase, whether it be 2 or 3 times the price. So what's the present situation there right now?
Yeah, so the commodity, when the market is the key marketing, so you can access whatever you have for the holiday. Still remain the same, but out of a lot of other commodity increase.
Okay. So as we all know, lastly, the world is still battling with COVID-19, and we'd like to know, are people actually observing this, especially now that it's season? We know how it gets and how packed it is in the country. So what is it like right now in Kono?
For COVID-19, there's a challenge here. We are observing the protocol, but besides that, we have large working with local governments here, moving around to vaccinate people, encouraging people to take the vaccine. So the vaccine is safe, and more people are taking the vaccine, and also the district health management team are also moving around with mobile people to encourage people also to take the vaccine. The organization is ongoing, but the area of prevention is very low.
Still on festivities, let's go over to Abdul Karim Kanu in Magburuka.
So this time, the place is extremely welcome here, even though there is a sunrise and movement of people is taking place. Those who are about to make their way to their villages, they are trying to do that, and those who are traveling to come to Mabuka, they are also trying to do that. Relatively, the environment is very quiet. Everybody is going about his normal business. More or less, what seems to be trending now is that of preparations, on the side of those who want to prepare for the Christmas holiday, and most of the offices here are about to close, so that people usually go out for holiday, and normally there used to be a trade fair in Maboka on Fridays, but when I make a visit to the market this morning, you can see a huge turnout of traders and those who are also busy, trying to buy new clothes, trying to buy all sort of things they need for, their Christmas holiday. And as it is now, you see a lot of people moving on motorbikes, making their way to their villages, and vehicles are also coming in with passengers are coming from other urban settings, especially from Freetown to here. And you can actually see that everybody is on top gear to see how much he or she can prepare ahead of the holiday.
Okay, so like you right, there's a huge turnout of people in the market buying different things, and in terms of food, clothes, and all these type of things. So what's the pricing like? Has the price of commodity increased in that part of the country?
Well, yeah, some of the basic commodities people need, they experience some slight increase in the prices. This is usually what normally happens here when it is getting very close to the holiday period or during the holiday season. Some people will deliberately decide to, do some slight increments on their goods, so that when you go to the market, you really know that, prices have, changed than what you used to buy at a particular cost. This is because they normally see the rush in people who wants to buy everything they can afford to buy, and just by that, traders will also take advantage of it, and then they will just increase the prices. Of course, for the past 3 days, except this morning, there was some kind of artificial scarcity of fuel here in Maboka. People have been selling at around 12, 13 or 14,000 per litre, because most of the fuel stations were closed, except this morning when I make the news in our sister program Morning Coffee, before they resume normal sales. And all of that in past days have brought some effect on the movement of people, because
because I was just about to ask if there has been any increase.
Costs, for taking people from one community to another simply because they have to buy the fuel at a high cost. But when normal sales resume this morning, everything seems to be calm at the moment. But all of what is happening now is really too much of us all over the place. People are moving here and there to see what they can buy and how they could make their way to their villages.
Okay, so basically the price for the the transport fare has decreased since it was settled this morning, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so as you know, the world still battles with COVID-19 and all the diseases. So what is it like in Maboka? Are people actually adhering to the protocols?
Well, much of that is not really seen at this particular time, because before now, because they used to monitor people's movements all over the place. The police officers will be out and about. We needed to enforce the use of face masks and other safety measures. But as it is now, the compliance rate has dropped drastically. You hardly go to places now where you used to see the make a bucket, for people to wash their hands, and then seeing somebody asking to wash your hands. Somebody will just come and rush in without following any of the necessary protocols. And even the putting on of a face mask, if you go to the market places, you go to other crowded places, you hardly see somebody, putting on his or her face mask while moving around. So I can confirm that much of those safety measures have drastically dropped. Somebody will be walking in public places, except where it is really, or if you meet some securities, like I know of 1 or 2 banks around town that will compel you at all costs to put on your face mask before entering into the bank. But for some other places, nobody seems to care actually at the moment.
That was Abdul Kanu in Magburuka, and before him was Dauda Kamara in Kono on how the festive period is gearing up in their localities. Now, as you may be aware, tailor shops are normally busy during festivities like Christmas, as people are eager to put on new clothes, especially for their loved ones. Esther Sako has been out and about visiting some tailoring and clothing shops in Freetown to feel the flow of this trend for this Christmas.
Festive seasons in Freetown are not only moments of joy, but are also moments of flamboyance as more people strive to wear new clothes and celebrate. Though some people prefer already made clothes, others go to the tailors to design their wares for themselves. This is Sarah Grounds, one of the places in the Central Business District where readily made clothes are displayed for sale. During festive seasons, more people crowd places like these to buy different African wares for their loved ones, but it appears that the situation is different this time around.
From last year, from the 10th of COVID camp, all what you pack so, and what you don't get from the COVID.
Sales are bad. These are the same clothes I have had since the coronavirus started in Sierra Leone. In normal times, people would have overcrowded this place, but today, nothing is going on. We sit the whole day without selling anything, and we pay shopkeepers.
Every day you pack.
We expect now business in Kenya. You understand? From yesterday up to.
We display our items for sale every day, but customers are not coming. The currency is hard, but we thank God for life.
Tailor shops are the busiest places during festivities, as the demand for sewn clothes is normally high during this time. These tailoring shops at Baconfield and Malama Thomas Street have piles of clothes waiting to be designed by these tailors.
We have
plenty of work to do. This year's festive season is better than the previous ones.
Last year, I had to stop work because there was nothing to do. But this year, I even sleep in the shop because I have plenty work to do.
There are still some tailors that complain of no business.
But this year,
This is bad. My shop used to be full with piles of clothes when times were normal, but as at now, nothing much is going on. I sew children clothes only.
SLBC News, Esther Sako reporting.
SOS Children's Village Sierra Leone has dished out footballs to primary, junior and senior secondary schools in Bo. About 90 government and government-assisted schools were identified to receive these footballs. Soliba Samoa tells us more.
According to the Fund Development and Communications Manager of SOS Children's Village Sierra Leone, Henry Mustafa Sheku, the gift of 3,000 balls in total is from the Great Football Giveaway UK to school pupils in Sierra Leone. He called on teachers from the various beneficiary schools to allow the children access to play with the footballs, as SOS believes this will develop the kids' psychomotor aspect of learning.
And our essence basically to see how best we could develop the talents. You know, the child development is a whole package. It's not only about the cognitive, but the psychomotor also. That's why we're here to ensure that we distribute the footballs. One, to enhance their right to play, and two, to ensure that we try to bring out the talents in them.
The country director for SOS Children's Villages, Sophie Dong, emphasized on the right of every child to play. She therefore called on school authorities, especially those in the physical education department, to help identify and eventually develop talents in the children for a better future. Bo City Council, Ministries of Children's Affairs and Basic Education all lauded SOS Children's Villages for the support. Reporting for SLBC, I am Soliba Samora in Bo.
The Geo Education and Economic Development, or GED Foundation, has held its annual Christmas party and Feeding the Poor and Needy Children charity event at Monkey Bush. Kadiatu Kagbo sent us this report.
I want to see that scene. Let me happy. Jesus Christ was born on Christmas Day.
It was a great opportunity for these children to witness this year's Christmas party and feeding. These kids were given an opportunity to create their own lasting memento of the day, and they were given a meaning of belonging. Before the end of the day, each child has the opportunity to receive delicious food and presents, which comprises Christmas toys, books, bags, etc. The principal, Darul Salam Primary School, Mustafa Kamara, applauded the CEO for coming out of his comfort zone to celebrate Christmas with them. He also thanked him for providing the land to build his school. Mabinti Kagbo, who the organization has been supporting since class 5, and now a first-year student at the Institute of Public Administration and Management, IPAM, also shared her testimony during the party.
I am an orphan, but through my performance in school, to take responsibility for me, and I want to appreciate and thank God for His love. God will protect and guide him for me.
According to Dr. Ekudayo Walters Gilpin, CEO GED Foundation, giving back to society and putting smiles on the faces of needy children was the foundation's utmost concern. He added that over the years, there has been a gap between the rural and urban communities, wherein the rural community has been neglected, so they thought it fit to give a hand.
I want to ride up on their success so that I can help the young kids to aspire to grow. I want them to ride upon my success, upon your success. We're Sierra Leoneans, and if we can piggyback on each other and we can use each other's strengths to climb higher and to support each other to go further higher, then we're going to help the country really at large. You see, one clarion call which I like is the free quality education, and if that can be deep and harnessed, then that is the way out for kids in this particular generation.
Apart from their annual Christmas party, the foundation has been awarding scholarships to children, providing capital to women in these communities since 2010. SABC News Kadiatu Kagbo reporting.
Now for some news around the continent. South African experts announced on Tuesday that the country had passed the peak of the fourth wave of COVID-19 infections. Associate Professor Martha Nunes added that although the number of infections remained high, hospitalizations were low. Scientists in South Africa first sounded the alarm about the Omicron variant less than a month ago. Although average new daily cases of COVID-19 have been surging since mid-November, severity and hospitalizations did not follow the same trajectory. In Europe, the World Health Organization's top official urged government on Tuesday to prepare for a significant surge in coronavirus cases across the continent due to the Omicron variant, which is already dominant in several countries. A brawl has broken out in Ghana's parliament during a late-night session over a contentious government-proposed levy on electronic transactions. MPs shoved, pushed and threw punches at each other while others tried to stop the fighting. Local media reports say the chaos started after opposition MPs rushed forward to prevent Deputy Speaker Joseph Osei Owusu from leaving his seat to vote. He was chairing the session, which was then adjourned because of the disorder. The opposition National Democratic Congress NDC has rejected the proposed levy of 1.75% on electronic transactions, which includes mobile money payment. It says it will hit low-income people and those outside the formal banking sector. Libya's election commission has called for the country's first presidential poll, due to take place on Friday, to be postponed for a month. It proposed the new date of 24th of January after liaising with Parliament, the Commission said. The Parliamentary Committee had earlier said that it would be impossible to hold elections on Friday. The run-up to the polls has been marred with disputes over the eligibility of candidates and growing security fears. Libya has been in turmoil since long-serving ruler Muammar Gaddafi was overthrown and killed in 2011. Now for some entertainment news.
Hello and welcome to the entertainment news. I am Maria Tudukuri. In this edition, our headlines: how one of our own, Suleiman Babature, wins the Amica Next Rap Star Awards, and we shall be talking about the Special Movie Awards. SLBC's entertainment presenter Suleiman Babature, stage name Emperor Baba, has been crowned next rap star during the Amica ceremony at John James Complex in Freetown.
First of all, I'm saying thanks to God for giving me talent, for making it possible to record songs. I thank my CEO here, IOS Entertainment, for believing in me and giving me this award. I thank you all, Amica, for believing in the talent and recognizing what I do and reward me. I cherish this award.
Emperor Baba has a few rap songs. Let us listen to some of them.
Raise the flag, standing in the room with your boss, I feel suffocated, now degraded. I said bones, trash when invaded, dominated. PS rappers animated, standing naked. No borders soon, the army on, we're not related. Big and nice teaching rappers, dominating ciphers. Bars for bars, I dominate. Kill rappers when you over it, I'm done with it. Now me bunch make these niggas defecate, they rarely get lack the potential. As I penetrate the heavyweight, call it bandy rapper, cause I'm the topic of the day. Man, they can't pay for me class, cause I'm the greatest all the way. Say no matter how the rap now behind me, then go stay. I'm the emperor, the warrior, professor to way. Say I'm the boss, the octopus, the only king, the Spartacus. For dope shit, I'm the only source, the ancestor you can divorce. Get the worst, a standing pause. Before me great, you are the worst. I'm the king, I'm killing gods, damn.
Now, we know why he won that award. The entertainment industry is seen as a lucrative industry that does not only serve as a source of employment, but also boosts the country's tourism sector and economy. To complement the efforts of those engaged in entertainment industry, especially the movie sector, the organizers of the Special Movie Awards, SMA, are set to host the 4th edition of the award in Sierra Leone on the 30th of December 2021. According to the Chief Executive Officer, Special Movie Awards, Wilfred Adams, the awards is set to celebrate filmmakers across Africa, but mostly concentrates on movie producers in Sierra Leone.
We see the actors, the actress, but most often time there are people that make things happen behind the scene, the cameramen, the editors, the lights, sound. So the program is designed to celebrate them.
Most awards are recently being viewed as unauthentic, but the SMA has decided to draw judges from the Sierra Leone Film Guild to screen roles played by nominees. Wilfred Adams said there would be 16 categories for this Special Movie Awards. They will be introducing a new category, which is the regional category, to give accolades to movie producers in the regions.
The reason why we introduced that in Sierra Leone is that when we were collecting these films, more than 14 films were submitted for the Special Movie Award. We discovered that in other regions that submitted their films, like the Northern region, the other, they can compete with, of course, these urbans that have all technology and everything. So we decided to because some of them have also done their best. But how do you also appreciate them? So we decided to categorize and have each region.
Key among those who are to grace this year's SMA Awards is one of the most popular Nigerian actress, Patience Ozoku. Yes, she is going to grace the ceremony.
Sierra Leone, we're going to spend December together because I'm coming for the SMA Awards.
We are here and saying on the 30th of December 2021, yours sincerely will be live in Sierra Leone, Freetown, Sierra Leone, for the Special Movie Awards.
The theme for this year's SMA is celebrating Sierra Leonean culture and tourism through films. Voting is now ongoing for the different categories. Well, that's all we have for entertainment news today. I have been Maria Tudukure. Do not forget to please keep watching the SLBC.
from Mariatu, let's see what our sports desk has for us.
Welcome to Sports Update. In this edition of the Sport News, the President of the Confederation of African Football, Patrick Motsepe, has reiterated that the delayed Africa Cup of Nations will go ahead as planned. Motsepe was speaking with less than 3 weeks until the tournament kicks off as he visited Yaounde's Olambe Stadium, which will host the opening match on the 9th January. His comments came as speculation persists that the finals will be delayed further. Here's an excerpt of the interview.
We will all meet in a few weeks' time in Cameroon, because this AFCON Cup is a competition, it's a tournament for the people of Cameroon and for the people of Africa. And I am so proud and so excited about the work that has been done. And you can see that there's a huge commitment and a focus to make sure that some of those issues that are being put in place in the next few days, good progress is being made. My message is to Africa and to the world. We are going to host, in partnership with the government of Cameroon, the people of Cameroon, CAF. We are ready to show the world the best of African football, but also the best of African hospitality and the best of, we are, Africans are a caring and a loving people. So it's going to be a successful AFCON, the most successful. I'm here from January 7. Everybody must be here 7. So come January 9, they must kick off.
And now in tennis, Emma Raducanu has expressed her delight at winning the BBC Sports Personality of the Year award, beating second place Tony Delay and Adam Piety, who finished third in the voting. Raducanu was shortlisted among 6 fellow contestants for the prestigious award, which also included Ryan Sterling among others. The US Open champion was voted the BBC Sports Personality of the Year on Sunday to cap an incredible rise throughout 2021. The 19-year-old Raducanu became the first ever qualifier to win a Grand Slam singles title with her triumph in New York in September after not dropping a set in the tournament. She said she was happy for British tennis that they were able to get the award again. But that's all we have time for in this edition of Sports Updates and News. I am your host, Esther Marie Samoa. Say goodbye and keep watching the SMBC.
Well, that's the end of News Hour tonight. But before we go, a recap of our top stories. The Chinese military medical expert group that has supported the government for a year in the fight against COVID-19 and other related issues has bid farewell to President Liu at State Lodge. The Chinese medical team has been working within different areas with 3 units providing medical services for citizens. And Parliament has approved the Appropriation Bill 2022 that seeks to authorize expenditure for the Consolidated Fund for the Services of Sierra Leone for the year 2022 and other related matters. The House also ratified the 148.5 megawatts Freetown Generation Project, a project that seeks to alleviate the challenge relating to and electricity supply in the capital and its environs. Thank you very much indeed for watching News Hour tonight with me, Victor Jones. As you continue to bask in the dry Hamilton wind, continue watching more programs on the SLBC. Do have a restful night.